It's a Thursday. Live here, 4 p.m. in the Pacific, which means we still have some sunshine in the air. Hello, everybody. I'm Ken Napzok. Welcome to the Good People Association. We find the good. We also celebrate the silly, and we're going to be talking about good, silly pop culture here today. Welcome to Internet for Old People. Is it just for old people? No, but I always make so many references that no one gets anymore. I figured why not put them all into one show? Thank you to those watching live and to those watching later. We have people in chat like Vermont, Mike, Mary, Richie, Daniel Medina, Uncle Van Dorn, Barno thinks Kat Von D. I'm going to call you Kat Von D, Kate Von D as well. And many, many more we might be referring to in chat. And also working, as we always say, the ones and twos is my friend, hopefully yours, Ikaika the Hawaiian Hunk. Ikaika, can we get a shot of you? Where are you at emotionally right now?
I'm still rocking the mohawk.
You look great, man.
The gel is starting to go away, but it's there.
You got the denim sleeveless vest. You look like one man gang.
It's all like evil horror stuff too.
It's great.
I'm feeling it with my Metallica shirt.
One man gang, WWF mid '80s, man. This is for those that missed it yesterday. You know, we every donation we receive, a large portion of everything we get at the end of the week, we always make sure we give to charities. It's been a lot of fun to do that, and it's been important work as well that we're happy to do here. That's made possible because of all of you. But yesterday we had the big stream for stbaldricks.org, which is this organization we've been supporting. Our friend Jeff Saunders got a big shave event tomorrow, raising funds and awareness for St. Baldrick's Foundation as they try to conquer childhood cancers. Because of all you, we're going to make a really sizable donation tomorrow. And also, we've been raising awareness, and we're going to carry this into next week for a great group called Stop AAPIHate.org. This is doing important work with what's happened this week. We wanted to focus on them as well. You can go to that website, stopaapihate.org, get information, resources, and find out ways to help. We want to stop Asian hate. And the incident this week, I keep saying incident. It was a mass murder this week that sparked the national and international conversation about a lot of things going on. We want to stay plugged into that as well. And because of all your support, we are going to be able to make donations tomorrow. But also because of your support, we raised enough to get Ikaika Shively a mohawk and a lohawk live on air yesterday with a celebratory Josh McCouga. So I'm glad you're back, Ikaika. I'm glad you came back to work today.
Yep, I did. I definitely had to trim it when I got home because it was a little too. My hair is like really curly. Yeah. So it just looked like I don't know, like a broccoli head coming out of my head. And I was like, I need to trim it down a little bit.
It was surprisingly straight for a shirtless Josh McCouga in the kitchen here in our office.
At a glance, it's straight, and then the more you look at it, you're like, oh, I can see it goes a little bit wide towards the back, but it's not too noticeable. But
love it. So also today we're gonna have some guests on here in a second. Today's show, I love the language of pop, and I keep coming back to that. It's one of the reasons I do the show. I call these things silly little pop culture moments, but they are a shared history, and it is that communication. Some of my best friendships have been formed by someone making a reference to Hardware Wars, the Star Wars parody from 1977, or a Simpsons quote in a situation that does not require a Simpsons quote. That's the kind of communication I have that I call the language of pop. And these two guests today are, we communicate well in different areas of pop, and sometimes the streams do cross. Returning to the show today, welcome back, Chip Dornell, and making her debut here on the GPA, it's Michelle Boyd. Welcome, friends.
Hi.
Yeah. Look at this. Michelle. First of all, a lot of you know Michelle. You should be following her on Twitch. We actually host her channel when she streams and we're not. You can follow her over on Twitch for wonderful games. We'll talk about that. But you know Michelle from when we worked together on Watching Thrones, Casually Talk, which is now under our family here. So, Michelle, welcome to the Good People Association.
Thank you so much for having me. It's so nice to see your guys' faces. This is still the only way I get to see my friends.
We're almost there. We can almost dance in person.
So close.
But here we are. You haven't left that chair in like a year, right? You've just been streaming all day, every day, right?
Pretty much, yeah. The first couple months was spent in the kitchen doing a lot of cooking and no working out and drinking a lot of wine. And now I've parked in front of a computer and I'm gaming for the entertainment of the masses.
I love that. I love the idea that we all kind of at the beginning of this situation, this pandemic, we're all like, let's just drink and eat for a couple weeks and we'll get back on. And here we are still finding that balance,
Yeah, this was the first holiday I remember spending in quarantine because St. Patrick's Day was just yesterday. So
right.
That was the first day where we stayed inside. We FaceTimed friends, drank Guinness. Right. That was it.
It was so
And that was pretty much all we did this year, too.
Yeah, and you're right. This is how we talk about the language of pop. The language and communication of streaming is how I think we all connect. And one gentleman that I am always glad to connect with, and we've worked together for years now, stand-up comedy. We had the great comedy duo on YouTube, Chip Sock, which, well, no one really remembers Chip. But Chip, welcome back to the show.
I remember it. Thank you.
You remember, we actually took a road trip. Chip and I actually went on the road to do video comedy in the early days of YouTube, right? The heady days.
Yep. Central Coast? Yeah. Is that region? That beautiful region where you originated?
Yeah. We drove 3 hours to make a Zac Efron joke, and I'm okay with that. So I like Zac. we graduated from the same high school, so, I support Eagles. So here's the deal. We have a lot of fun talking about meaningless things that mean so much. Michelle, I've asked previous guests this. I do want to ask you this. This is a question I'm always fascinated with. Do you know your year, your pop culture awakening year, meaning that year where suddenly everything in the past was, you were a kid who didn't understand it. Now history was happening in front of you. You knew things, you connected with things, you loved things, movies, whatnot. Do you have that year or that moment in your brain?
That year of reckoning and mental clarity where everything seems to make sense. That'll be 2029, Ken. Thanks.
Fair.
I'm not there yet.
Fair enough.
I feel like a lot of, I don't know, maybe sometime in college where I realized everyone watched the same Saturday morning cartoons that I did.
Right.
But also in high school where I read The Hobbit and taught myself how to read runes and realized I wasn't necessarily the only person to do that.
Wait a minute, Chip, are you giving a thumbs up because you read runes as well?
Absolutely not. I was just relating to the fact that she could point to something, and that was something that was very specific in the timeline of cultural history.
I think that's exactly part of the point. Chip, do you have that one thing too? We talked about your year of pop culture awakening, but do you have that one thing where you're like, I feel connected to a bigger world that's outside of me?
I think it was sometime in the 70s. The movie Planet of the Apes originated in 1968, I believe. But
right.
They started airing it on television as a movie in the 1970s. And it was probably much bigger then than it was when the movie came out.
Yeah.
And so that followed up with all kinds of accoutrements and things you can buy and model figures. And I remember I had my little Cornelius model thing that you glued together. It came in pieces for some reason. It's like, why would you put a Cornelius together? No, it wasn't Cornelius.
Was it Dr. Zaius?
No, it was Cornelius. I'm sorry. It was Cornelius.
Which of course...
And you paint him and everything, and, that's long gone, but I do believe I had a coloring book, at which time I think I was probably a little too old for coloring books. No. But that was definitely one of those, points on the cultural timeline.
Yeah. Well, because it's again, you're taking that love off the screen, you're putting it on your shelf, that kind of thing. And Michelle, you talked about the thing I'm fascinated too. Like, you grew up and you're like, am I the only one who loves Muppet Babies? And then all of a sudden you mention it in 7th grade, and someone's like, oh God, that's like my favorite episode of the Star Wars one or the Indiana Jones one. It's a that's the shared experience.
The shared thing is very fun.
Yeah. Adam Witt in chat. Adam Witt was on the show last week. You guys can all follow him and Paul Preston of the Movie Guys. Their podcast is coming, The Ford Fiesta, where they go through every Harrison Ford movie in chronological order. I can't wait.
Nice.
All right. With
Even Apocalypse Now?
Even Apocalypse Now. They're going to start from the beginning and work their way up. I told them I want Clear and Present Danger. That's the one I want. That's the movie I want to talk about. Chip, you can get Mosquito Coast and it'll be okay. That's right, Adam.
I'm going to say Mosquito Coast.
I'm booking your show for you, Adam.
I want Air Force One. Dibs now.
Michelle's got Air Force One. Adam, I'm so sorry. Paul, I'm now producing the show by proxy. All right, we're going to get to our big segment this week. It is something we call a bucket full of pop. All right, this is my fun little experiment. I love pulling 3 things out of my mind. Sometimes I'll do a Google search to help me, but I pull 3 things out of my mind just to see if my guests here on the show have a connection to what I feel is a big pop culture moment, a pop culture event, a show, a TV show, an album, a person, something that you see and go, yes, I connected to that. I was there for that. Or maybe sometimes you're like, I didn't. It's a blind spot. Or I was off in college actually thinking I was learning and preparing for my future, and I missed that. So Chips
brain cells.
Exactly. Chips played before. Michelle, do you feel you're ready for a bucket full of pop? Do you have any idea where I might go?
I have no idea. I'm genuinely in the dark, along with all of you guys in chat. I have no idea what Ken's about to bring up.
Awesome. I always play fair, Michelle, unless we're talking, of course, about Stannis Baratheon, which is not first.
Don't make me reach through this screen, man. I will.
Michelle,
come over there.
Are you ready to talk House of the Dragon with me here on Casually Talk on GPA? You ready for that?
I'm so excited for a new Song of Ice and Fire, just George R.R. Martin, just anything in that world. I'm here for it.
I can't wait to do that, but we're not going to talk about that right now. We're going to talk about my first one. This is from 2007. Who had a T-Mobile sidekick? I want to know. Did either of you jump in on the swipe up keyboard craze? Michelle, you had a sidekick. Come on.
I did not.
No?
At all. I feel like this was around the time when I actually had a BlackBerry. I can't remember. I remember like actually learning all of the keys by heart on my BlackBerry. It was a very brief time. I feel like it was around 2007. I definitely never had a sidekick.
So did you feel, well, actually, Chip, did you have a sidekick? I knew you in 2007. I don't recall you having a sidekick.
No, but I think just previous to that, I had a Kyocera phone. Remember that brand?
Yes.
And it actually was, it was really small, like that
Yeah.
big, and it actually flipped up. So then when you flipped it up, it actually exposed the keypad, and then you could actually talk, and then it just sort of like slid back down to make it compact so it could fit in your pocket.
Yeah.
I hated that phone.
That kind of looked like the sidekick, right? Sort of the same design. You slid it up and slid it back down.
Yeah, it was the same concept basically. I guess that was the era where they were doing the slide up.
It was big. I was on your side, Michelle. I had the BlackBerry. For a while I had the Palm Trio, which felt like a Commodore 64 in your pants. I mean, who doesn't want that? But then
Trio.
I mean,
try it. And Kate in chat says the best way to update your live journal, sidekicks, which was the appeal.
Yeah.
So, Michelle, did you have that feeling? Because when I had a Razor too, and I felt pretty cool about the Razor. You had a Razor too.
No, I had a brick. I had a Nokia to start out.
Oh yeah, get the big nick.
And then I think I switched over to the BlackBerry, and then from the BlackBerry it was pretty much all Apple all the time.
Yeah. Okay. Chip, when did you upgrade, Chip?
Let's see. So I think it was around 2007 that I went to the Trio.
Yes, the Palm Trio,
which was like the sort of borderline smartish phone, and
it had the
that was when everyone else was going to the iPhone and whatnot.
Yes.
And I didn't go Apple until probably 2010.
That's when they get you. That's when they pulled you.
I don't know why am I remembering some sort of like pop culture TV show that was like all about sidekicks? Was it like Gossip Girl? And I know it wasn't Clueless because obviously that was way before sidekicks, but it just feels like that same kind of aesthetic that they would have.
Well,
was it in?
I don't know, but
Gossip Girl?
You might be.
I don't know.
You might be capturing kind of the feeling I'm trying to express here, Michelle, because I never had a sidekick. I had an HTC, something later on that slid up because I had that Palm Trio. Then I had the BlackBerry, and I remember my girlfriend at the time had a sidekick, And it was just like, I felt left out. I felt old. I felt like I wanted the cool phone. And maybe it was that kind of show or that kind of atmosphere. Like, oh, you just have the little mini computer. Ours slides up. We're cooler than you. I felt envy and vanity. Barno says he went through 10 razors in his life. Yeah, that was the razors. For as cool as they made you feel, they did break pretty easily. So I don't recommend the razors. My dad still had razors up to about 5 years ago. He used to have to track them down from China. He'd like look
I think my mom had a razor. I just don't remember. She still is on like Google. She's still the green text in the group chat.
Yes, there's always that person. Vermont Mike says
it's always the green text.
The LG NV was awesome. Yes, a Razzle. Final thing on phones here. I know you both enough to know that you probably aren't. I don't know, Chip. You might surprise me. I own still to this day every single cell phone I've ever owned. I have them. I could display them like some weird museum. Michelle, I got to imagine you get a new one and toss the old one.
I pretty much toss the old one as soon as I possibly can.
Just out the window.
If I own them, I know exactly where they are because there is one storage container where I keep all the old stuff. But I do have some old phones.
Yeah.
I don't think I have all the old ones because I've moved. And sometimes when you move, you just kind of say screw it. And a lot of stuff goes in the trash bin. But I still, in spite of that, I still have old phones that I have no use for.
Yep. I guess Grace will tell you I'm kind of a hoarder, but I didn't start that way with the phones. Next thing you know, I was like, what do you do with your old phones? And I had like 4 of them. So I gotta keep them at this point, you know?
Yeah. I also tend to keep my phones until I've completely destroyed them. So there's really no point in keeping them after I've upgraded.
A cracked
I think I
phone.
kept the one phone I had that's totally trashed even. It was an old iPhone, but I just didn't get rid of it because I'm an idiot.
Nah, you're good. You're good. All right. That is number 1.
I don't even want to know what's buried in my cord box in my closet.
The adapters.
Oh, God, yeah. Wires for things that don't even exist anymore.
You never know. You never know when you need them. All right, that's number 1. Number 2, we're going back to 1987 for this classic. Who owns this album? That's right.
Oh, dear Lord.
He had an album?
You didn't know?
I'm trying to remember a song from it.
I was 7. I was a child.
Oh, every
You're
child.
lucky if I got past the Gummy Bears theme at that point.
That's the best
Were they
reaction.
all like remakes? Was it like an album of like remakes of old songs, or was there any original material?
I think there might have. I'm going to bring up the return. It comes up right away on my search, which means I've spent some time looking at this. I think it was mostly an eclectic gathering of R&B music sung by Willis. So
how are you not? Well, I guess you get DMCA flagged for it. I really wish you could play some. I would love to hear some of this right now.
Yeah, it was.
I wish I could remember one of the songs on it because I would sing just enough bars so you couldn't get sued for public.
Here's the track listing, and I own this right now on LP. David Fickus, our friend from the show, he over at Drama 3-4, he has this as well. Coming Up Right, Respect Yourself, Down in Hollywood, Youngblood, Under the Boardwalk, the Drifters classic, Secret Agent Man, Fun Time, Lose Myself, and Flirting with Disaster.
I genuinely need to hear Bruce Willis sing Secret Agent Man.
Secret.
That was like one of my dad's favorite songs when I was a kid. Oh my God, I need to hear that version really, really badly.
That is,
I'm gonna look it up like the moment we go off the air.
This is great. I'm glad I introduced this to you, Michelle. This is we were even talking about it on one of our shows the other day here, but just like, celebrities playing, actors going towards the music side, I should say, it's kind of a staple. It doesn't work out as well as musicians maybe going into acting, but I don't know. I think Bruce Willis made it work, right? No?
I think this is the dude's version for how all the female actresses and female celebrities have fragrances. This is the guy's version. They all just have an album.
Some of them have albums, like Mila Jovovich.
That's true.
She has an album?
Yeah.
I think she's a singer.
Yeah.
I'm learning so much right now.
That's so true.
Amazing.
I think you're right. Yeah, and Star Drew in chat, we always want to make reference of Eddie Murphy, Party All the Time. But Michelle, I really think you're right. I mean, this is kind of like they look over at the fragrances and like, what can I do? I can grab a harmonica and start singing the blues and put it in an album.
And he was able to pull it off because he could carry a tune.
He could.
Was not a distinctive voice.
Yeah.
And he was so cool and had such a persona at the time that everyone just bought it.
Yeah.
So like you're saying this was 1987. So like what movies of his had just come out? What was he known for at the time?
I still think he was mostly moonlighting. I think this was.
It's mostly, yeah, that makes sense.
I'm looking up the filmography. Yeah. Because also, by the way, don't forget he released an album in 1989. And then they released the classic Bruce Willis, the Universal Masters Collection in 2001. So, Michelle, there's a lot of chances for you to get Bruce Willis's music.
Fantastic. The song list alone makes me kind of think of Billy Joel for some reason. I'm sure it's nowhere even near that style, but that's what pops into my head.
You know, we'll do a contrast. Yeah, Moonlighting was 85. So
okay,
he's 2 years in playing David Addison Jr. and he's feeling the blues vibes. Well, I think I've done good here today because now Michelle knows this exists. And Michelle,
I will tell you. I mean, like, for reference's sake, my two first albums that I can remember getting with my own money, which were on cassette, they were not albums, was Madonna's Immaculate Collection and Phil Collins Live, and I stand by both of those purchases.
I don't. Yeah, I think those are wins. Chip, do you remember saving up your allowance to get your first William Shatner album, or what'd you get first?
The soundtrack from Saturday Night Fever.
Oh, yeah.
Boom, 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 boom. It wasn't that cool then.
Yeah, right?
But look out now.
Cool now.
It's a classic.
You go back so far, you're in front of your own self, as Paul McCartney
My
kind of
first
once
cassette
said.
was Van Halen 2, I think.
That's a good choice.
Ooh, look at you.
I had a bunch of Beatles rarities, White Album, that kind of stuff before I even really became a fan. But again, my first concert was Debbie Boone, You Light Up My Life. So I was a little late to getting cool music.
That song was on the number one on the Billboard chart for weeks.
Weeks? Oh, it was a winner. It was a winner. You light up my. All right, we'll get. All right, final one in this segment here is going to what year is this one? Oh, 1999, at least the beginning. This is Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Not the late, great Regis Philbin, though he's definitely part of this conversation. John Carpenter, the first big winner. A little bit of handpicked because, Chip, you know the game shows pretty well, but this was pretty big, right?
Yeah, that was huge. I mean, because I'm trying to think of what, before Millionaire, what primetime game shows there were. That kind of like brought back the primetime game show.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I was so young back then. But that was the dude who he was kind of smug when he won, I think.
Yes.
He said, I'm going to use one of my lifelines. I'm going to call my father. He calls his father and he says, Dad, I'm calling you not because I don't know the answer to this question, but to let you know I'm about to win $1 million.
I totally remember that. I didn't watch it live, but I remember that being a thing. I just was like, all right, he's cool. I thought it was awesome. I'd be like, I wish I'd have the presence of mind to do that.
Yeah.
I would love to be able to be that arrogant about winning $1 million.
Michelle Boyd wants John Carpenter swag on Millionaire.
Hell yeah. Swagger.
And the swag that probably
swag
did.
and swag. I'm sure he spent it by now.
Yeah. Star Drew backing that up. John did call his dad said he was going to win. Kate Van Dies's appointment to primetime game show, and that's part of it. Even like you just said, Michelle, you didn't watch it live, but it was water cooler conversations before social media catches fire, all those kind of things, and that's what I loved about it. I remember showing up to work, and it was like, did you watch Millionaire last night? I can't remember any conversations about game shows being around that, Chips?
Phenomenal.
Yep. Oh, Michelle, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was saying that's true. That I don't think I've ever had a conversation about a game show that I can recall.
I've had more than I could care to remember.
Well, yeah.
I would say like the only ones would be around like Ken Jennings and Jeopardy. That was a big thing when he won.
Yeah, it's
when
funny.
He was on a winning streak.
When those kind of things suddenly like happen and game shows become fodder for pop culture. It's fascinating to me to when that happens. And Chip, I'm tipping the hand a little bit. You don't need to say all what you've learned, but you've worked a lot in this game show world, right? Did you ever work on Millionaire or a version of Millionaire?
No, but my boss, who just texted me right now to ask what time I'm not available tomorrow, did work on Millionaire.
Well said. Well said. Plus, we all worked on a trivia game show thing together years ago, the old Screen Junkies Plus days. So,
right. And here's another fact. I'm not going to go into a monologue here, but these things come and they go in waves. And Millionaire was big, and then it ended, and at least what's his name? Philbin.
Regis, yeah.
Regis.
His turn was gone, and the ratings had dipped, and things weren't going that well. And he blamed it all on Ann Robinson, who was the host of the show I was working on, because he said things were just getting too mean.
That's right.
Was it Weakest Link? Was that what she worked on?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that show.
That's Regis. It was like the good old. Good old just have some fun days were done. I do remember that conversation. But yeah, that was also part of the fun with Ann Robinson. She was great. You're the Weakest Link. Goodbye. I mean, come on. That's pop culture
It's like
statement.
watching Judge Judy.
Yes.
It's fun.
It's fun.
And now it's back with Jane Lynch.
Yes. And Jane is great.
Who I love and adore.
Who's more on probably the Regis side of things, right?
And she's great.
She's great. She's great indeed. All right. You guys did a wonderful job. And also we accomplished such great things in this segment because now Michelle has a favorite album to listen to and enjoy. That was
so many things I need to look up.
That was this week's Bucket Full of Pop. All right, before we get into the big segment coming up here in a bit, we love doing this thing called New Trend, Old Soul. Chip already answered a little bit here, and Chip, feel free to throw something else in. This is where I asked my guests here if you fought against, actively fought against, maybe even posted about it or slammed your fist on a desk and said, I will never do that. Like me buying an iPhone when I had a Palm Trio. I was like, I'll never do that, or a BlackBerry. And now it's all I have. So Michelle Boyd, you're pretty stylish. You're pretty hip. You're pretty ahead of all the trends. You're one of the people I go to. I go, what's Twitch? What do I got to do on Twitch? Okay. So I got to ask you, do you have one of these trends you fought against but now take part in?
I feel like I'd do better at answering this question if I had some examples, but the first thing that I could really think of was Instagram stories.
Yeah.
I fought against it for so long, just Instagram in general, really.
Yeah.
I fought against it for so long, and then eventually was just like, okay, fine, this is what we're doing now. I did, however, I'm still fighting against TikTok. I can't. I'm not going to, mostly because I didn't get a chance to register my own name, and I just instantly boycott anything that happens with.
There you go. Yeah, I'm with you. And with Instagram too. I remember going what? I have Facebook to post pictures. And then I saw a filter once on, someone put a filter what it looked like. It had the old, a film, developed film. And I was like, well, that's pretty cool. I think I'm going to get Instagram. And there it began. But stories, that's a great answer, Michelle. That's a great answer. Because LinkedIn has stories now. Who's posting stories on LinkedIn?
No one still jumped on the whole Twitter fleets thing, right? That's still not really a thing.
It's not hidden.
No. I don't know. Maybe I'm just following the wrong people, but I haven't seen that really hit at all.
I haven't either. Chip, do you? You're not. You have an Instagram profile. I have to always go to it, and there's no profile picture. I have to confirm that it's you. So maybe you're still fighting against Instagram.
It's on my list.
It's on your list.
It has been for a couple of years.
You'll get there. Yeah. You'll clear out, the
LinkedIn. As soon as
one.
you update your profile picture, it'll be something else. It'll be a new program.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, when
bought by Jeff Bezos.
Yeah. Dave Taylor in chat says HR companies are rocking the LinkedIn stories. There you go. The sexy world of LinkedIn stories. Just get an interview.
Jump on that train.
That's fair. That's a great answer, Michelle. And that is a new trend for an old soul. Coming up, we have got our game show sequence here. Oh, I know it is what I'm calling it right now. But first, a little bumper for y'all. right, this is our little trivia segment here. Don't forget to catch our game show on Friday nights, the fastest game show on the internet, Josh Brady. In fact, this week, it's Hunk versus Heather. What does that mean? It means our very own, the Hawaiian Hunk, Ikaika, is going to be taking on his girlfriend, Heather. I don't know how Josh pulled this off. Ikaika, what's the update? Are you both nervous or are you ready?
I've been ready since I first watched it and was behind the camera, so I know how his mind works. I got this.
You got this. You're going to defeat. You're pretty. That's pretty confident to just say that you're going to absolutely just destroy your girlfriend in a game.
I didn't say destroy here. That's your word, it's not mine.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, this is the segment where we coined this before the show. I'm gonna run with this, Michelle. I'll give you co-credit here of proving it. We're gonna compete over memories. That's what this segment's about. I've got TV shows. This is a competition. Your name is your buzzer. Chip, Michelle. You could just yell that name, you'll get in.
Okay.
Your name is your buzzer. And then it's first to 3. I got 5 and some backups. I've learned to finally get some backups because this is the thing too. I love this. This is what I don't know. Sometimes a show pops to my head. I go, oh, that's going to be too easy, and then no one gets it. Other times it's a rare show, and people have jumped in, or movies. I'm going to do albums, bands, all those kind of things. So it's a fun. And as a producer of a show, sometimes you want to make sure you have someone feel the joy of getting an answer right or have something to talk about. But I also love finding where on the pop culture map you are and where your mind goes. So we're competing over TV shows today. Here's how it is. I'll give first the year. If you want to buzz in and guess just off the year, you can. Your opponent can then steal. But then I will start answering or start saying actors from the show. I have 5 names. Beat by beat, I'll reveal them. At any point that you got the show, you buzz in and just give me the title of the show.
Can I just start guessing game shows now?
You can just start tossing them out there. Toss them out there.
Saved by the Bell.
That would have been funny. That would have been funny. Oh God, I got to put that. Adam Witt, if you're in chat, don't watch. I might throw that in one of your shows, one of your episodes. All right, Michelle, the Chip's played this before. You feel good? You ready to go? Any questions?
Terrified. Let's go.
This is the best way to compete. All right, first one. From 1974, Karen Grassel, Merlin Olsen, Melissa Sue Anderson, Melissa Gilbert, Chip.
Little House on the Prairie.
Point for Chip. Michael Landon was on the way out there. Little House on the Prairie, 1974 to 1983. One of my earliest memories of watching the intro to that song, Melissa Gilbert running down that grassy hill. Michelle, one of your favorite shows? No?
I'm sorry. I've never heard of the show in my life. No, I have, but I've never watched it ever.
So I wouldn't have believed you.
Me neither, honestly. I saw the original TV movie, but I bailed out after that.
It was, I think
that's how old I am.
Yeah, I think it was like wholesome entertainment. It was like a staple in our house. We had to watch it in our house. Like Mom and Dad sat me down. Get ready for life lessons. Merlin Olsen's on the TV. So.
Oh, that's our version of that was MASH.
Yes. Wow. Big one in our house as well. We talked about the finale last week.
Great. That's the next one.
That's the no.
1-1.
I might have a chance in hell of actually getting one of these if that's
all right.
the case.
And, well, I take them. I go 70s, but I'll go as far as who knows? Could it be even a couple years old? It's part of the pop culture conversation. But all right, Chip's up 1-0 here. What do you win for winning? You don't win anything, but you get to have your own memories preserved. All right, and you win a Marvel No Prize from 1983, Dwight Schultz, Melinda Kalia, Dirk Benedict, Mr. T, George
Michelle. The A-Team?
Dun, 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 dun.
Really?
You got it.
Okay, cool.
You got it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Chip, were you holding back just so I could get an answer right?
I was stuck on trying to figure out who Dirk Benedict was because it's like I know who Dirk Benedict is. I know who, and then you went to Mr. T, and I was still like, I know who Dirk Benedict is, and I just blew it.
See, I almost put Mr. T last because George Peppard is kind of leader of the group, but Mr. T is definitely the star, the breakout star of that show. So Michelle, it seems like you don't have a connection to that show, but you know it.
I do know it. I remember watching a couple episodes as a kid, and then actually, when I was with Team Unicorn, we did an A-Team theme photo shoot. So I remember like looking up the van and looking up all the stuff. Plus, like, didn't like Family Guy or Simpsons do kind of an A-Team themed episode?
I think so. I mean, that's pretty.
I feel like Family Guy did, but I could be wrong.
Sounds like something Family Guy would do.
Yeah, I think so. And
I just have this image of Peter Griffin with the cigar, but I could be totally crazy.
As Hannibal. And then Ryan Kramer, Dirk Benedict, of course, Starbuck in the original Battlestar Galactica. So Chip, you were probably waiting for me to say Lorne Greene or any one of the cast there from that one, but no.
Right. I knew the name, but I just could not, I could not place any of his vehicles.
There you go. All right, we're tied up at 1. This is a great game so far, Michelle. That was great. I love good, educated guesses. All right, this is the next one here from 1990. Michael Stoyanov, Ted Waz, Jenna Von Oy.
Michelle.
Yes.
Blossom?
Oh, you don't even need a question mark. You know that. Yes, Blossom.
Yay! Only because I remember Jenna.
6 and 6. Joey Lawrence, Mayim Bialik. Of course, Joey Lawrence, another actor turned just absolute music god. So, Blossom, 1990, 1995. Chip, I imagine, even though you know, and you probably know the reference, that might be a little, blind spot for you, right? 1990, 95 in terms of sitcoms, watching family sitcoms.
Yes. Mayim Bialik shows during that period, they were not high on my radar screen.
But Michelle, this was your favorite show.
I was full on target audience for this show. 100%. Yeah.
Were you
Mayim Bialik, amazing actor, and also has a science background. I love her.
As do you.
Yeah, she's like a neuroscientist or something.
Right?
She is. She has a PhD.
Right? Yeah, that's right. See, I dropped out of community college to go to radio. Michelle got all the education and is smarter than I. It's true. Ron Pont 6. Yeah, Jenna Von Oy 6. That was kind of the key.
Yeah.
6 was it. All right. Oh, this is big. That's big. We got Michelle with a 2-1 lead here. First to 3 gets it. Chip, if you can hang, we got this one here coming down the way from 1980. No guesses? Fair enough. Lydia Cornell, Deborah Van Valkenburg, Nancy Dussault, Jim J. Bullock, Ted Knight. Chip.
Too close for comfort?
That is it. We're tied up at 2. Ted Knight, Jim J. Bullock.
Jim J. Bullock.
1980. Jim J. Bullock, just a staple of the 80s, usually on Hollywood squares with Shadow Stevens and the like. John Davidson. I was worried. I was like, this one might go into the radar screen, but this was one of the, I watched it not fully understanding some of the adult concepts, and it wasn't the most sophisticated of shows. But I remember as a kid just going, this might be too old for me.
Well, Ted Knight.
What kind of show is this?
Master. It was a family. They lived in a building. Ted Knight played a cartoonist.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yep.
It really wasn't the concept really wasn't that out there, and they had a weird neighbor. I forgot what the character's name was, played by Jim J. Bullock, but he was pretty much just Jim J. Bullock showing up on a scene, being crazy.
Yeah, being Jim J. Bullock. You don't remember his character's name, Chip? If you picture Ted Knight going Monroe. There you go. Of course.
What was the show called? Like Too Close for Comfort? Was there just like weird incest themes? Was there like I don't?
It's a House Lannister.
What was the pull?
It's a House Lannister show. Yeah,
I think it was set in San Francisco, where everything's like really crowded anyway.
Yeah.
So
yeah, there was like a downstairs bedroom. There were sisters, a mother, Ted Knight, Monroe. And Ted Knight was in that. It was that Caddyshack era, 80 to 87 for him. So he was America's curmudge, and I respect that. All right, we are tied up at 2. This is great. Coming down to the final question here, unless we need a bonus question. Here we go. This is from 1996. Ooh, here we go. Barbara Barry, Nestor Carbonell.
Chip?
Go for it.
Suddenly Susan?
Get out of here. How did you... You get the win. How?
I don't know, I guess I
1996,
followed
2000.
Barbara Barry's career
You
too
follow.
closely or something.
You run the website barbarabarry.com.geocities.net. Kathy Griffin,
Guilty.
Judd Nelson, Brooke Shields, mid-90s sitcom
Yeah.
gold. I mean, Michelle, you were probably
totally remember.
yeah.
No, I remember this show. You said Brooke Shields and Judd Nelson, right?
Yep.
Wasn't it like, was it centered around Victoria's Secret, or no? That's the Kirstie Alley one.
Right.
Oh, Veronica's Closet. Yeah.
Veronica's Closet. Yeah. But I did watch Suddenly Susan. I have vague memories of this.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you were probably upset that Blossom was off the air in 95, and then in 96 this comes along, and you know.
In 95, I was probably retelling jokes from Saved by the Bell and considering myself original.
Hey, that's what we do. Look, Chip and I have just been reusing Simpsons jokes for 25 years, 30 years now, so it's all right.
Works well.
Chip, that was a big poll, but really,
Nice job.
Barbara Barry was the one, huh? Not Nestor Cannonball from... Cannonball, I call him Cannonball. Nestor Carbonell from Lost, also from Dark Knight, right? He was like wasn't he the mayor of the city of Gotham? I think so.
Oh, it's that. Oh yeah. Oh, that guy. Yeah.
Oh
he
yeah,
was.
he's in that show
He
on Apple
was.
TV with Jennifer Aniston there, the morning show or something.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
I remember.
Okay, I
Yeah.
know who that guy is. Yeah.
See? Memories begat memories, which begat memories, which begat fun. That the Chip gets the win here. We'll start tracking this. I don't want this to be the official competition. It's just a fun way to talk about things from our past that we love, and that's what we do here on Internet for Old People, and that is our show today. Been a lot of fun hanging out with two good friends of mine. You're going to see their faces a lot more around this place. Chip, tell them where they can follow you for you to not post anything.
Username Chip at username Chip on Twitter.
Yeah,
I think that's still a thing.
that is a thing. It's still going. Just fleet. I want to see some username Chip fleets, and we'll get to that as well. And as I said, Chip's going to be around.
Look that up here.
Yeah, look that up. Chip's going to be around these parts a lot. And Michael Beatrice, who's also a guest on the show, we got some things cooking up here too on this particular show. And someone you're also going to be seeing a lot more of, especially when it comes to talking Game of Thrones, Song of Ice and Fire. It is the wonderful Michelle Boyd. Michelle, you are a Twitch partner. Tell them where they can find you and all your fun adventures.
Yeah, so I am up on Twitch Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday at twitch.tv/Michelle Boyd. You can also find me on Twitter and Instagram, also at Michelle Boyd.
And don't forget, because I made the lower thirds and I relied on myself, that is Michelle with one L. All right, folks? You get it right. It's Michelle.
Delightful being here with you, Michelle.
Couldn't have asked for someone better to lose to, sir. You've been a pleasure and a gentleman.
You're
You
both
gave me a run.
you're both classy individuals. And Kaika in his mohawk. Show it one more time for the people, because it's the best looking mohawk anyone ever got drunk. And I think you look great, man. I think you look great.
It's never
It
been
looks
this.
awesome.
It's never been this short before. It's just weird getting used to.
Having no idea what you looked like before, you look amazing.
You look amazing now. And again, tomorrow night, 4 p.m. Pacific Live, right here on the Good People Association YouTube channel. Josh McCouga and Josh Brady, the fastest game show on the internet. Hunk Kaika taking on his girlfriend Heather. It's going to be a war of the house here. And tomorrow morning, we got Chloe Condon coming in here to talk Clippy from Microsoft with Josh McCouga, me, and I believe Mark Ellis is even going to wake up early, grab an egg sandwich for me, and head over this way as well. You can also join us by becoming a sustaining member of the GPA by going to the gpa.fun. Buckets, get your little bucket to share a drink of. We got a drink up coming soon here, which is our private hangout and show that we imbibe while you watch and drink at home, or just have a slice of Irish soda bread, courtesy of Michelle Boyd's cooking instructions on her Instagram stories, which she now uses. That's it for this week. Thanks for sharing in the memories. We'll see y'all soon here on Internet for Old People.
The Good People Association.